kind of at a little bit of a, you know, not a super fast pace, but a little bit more rhythmic. And so it's really for people who have been practicing Ashtanga before. And anyways, you're at home. So if you get to a pose that feels like it's too much, or you're going to, you don't understand the pose, and as I'm not giving a lot of detail, then you can just do a different pose, rest in child's pose, watch, you know, whatever you want to do. Okay, and you should double click on my photo so that you see me in big, and it'll, you know, kind of help you, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so, yes? Oh,
can you mute us?
I didn't mute you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for reminding me.
Thank you.
Mute all. There you go. Okay, so you're going to come to stand at the front of your yoga mats in Samasthiti. Bring the hands in front of the chest, close the eyes. And try to elongate the spine, relax the shoulders. Relax the jaw, relaxing all the facial muscles. Engaging Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and starting the soft sound of Ujjayi breathing. I'm going to do the opening mantra. So I'm not doing call and repeat when it's live like this. Doesn't really work with hearing all the voices, so I'll just chant it, and either you can try to chant along or remain silent. The general meaning of this mantra is to give out gratitude, to be thankful for all the participants before us, for keeping this yoga tradition alive. Vande Gurunam Charanarvinde Sandarchita Swatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jangalikaya Mane Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shantye Abau Purushakaram Shankachakrasi Dharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shvedam Pranamami Patanjalim. Exhale, release the arms to the sides. Inhale, open the palms, raise the arms, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, folding over the legs, relaxing the back of the neck. Inhale, lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, press the hands and step or hop back, lower down for chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bringing your awareness to your hands. Notice if you're pressing all the pads of the fingers into the floor evenly. Check there's no tension in the neck, and you're able to breathe freely. It's about 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees, look forward, either step or hop forward. Inhale, long back belly in. Exhale, head down. Inhale, press the feet, lead with the chest all the way up. Exhale, arms to the sides. Second one, inhale to raise the arms. Exhale, fold over, keeping the lower belly pulled in. Relax the neck. Inhale, lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, weight into the hands and lightly step or hop back. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Staying here. Try to reach the sitting bones to the wall behind you. Making this hollow between the hip bones. So you have Uddiyana Bandha. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bending at the knees, look forward, and step or hop. Inhale, exhale, head down. Inhale, strong legs as you come all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Third time. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, press all the toes. Exhaling. Have a look at the feet and see if you have Samastitihi feet. So the feet are straight. The weight is even between the 3 points of the feet. Even if the heels don't touch the floor, it doesn't matter. You're just making it in the direction of those 3 points. And then breathe freely. 3, 4, and 5. Bending at the knees. Inhale, hop, open the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lead with the chest. Exhale, Samastitihi. Fourth one. Inhale, exhale, smooth movements. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling, let the breath lead you. Exhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees, step or hop. Inhale, long back. Exhale, head down. Inhaling, exhaling. Last one, raising the arms with the inhale. Exhale, fold, keeping awareness. Inhale to open. Exhale, lightly back. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, over the toes. Find a steady gazing point. Listen to the breathing. Try to still the body and still the mind, keeping the focus on your gazing point. 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhale. Samastitihi. Surya Namaskar B. Bend the knees. Inhale. Raise the arms. Exhale over the legs. Inhale to long back. Exhale to jump back. Inhale to upward facing, gaze to the nose. Exhale to downward facing. Turn the left heel, step the right foot to the thumb. Inhale all the way up, Virabhadrasana A. Exhale all the way back down, smooth movements is no rushing. Inhale to open the chest. Exhale over the toes. Turn the right foot, step the left foot. Inhale, keep that front knee over the heel. Exhale all the way back down, chaturanga. Inhale, open. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, head down. Inhale, Utkatasana. Keep the knees together. Exhale, Samastitihi. Second one. Inhaling, Utkatasana. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, long back, belly in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, over the toes. Inhale, Virabhadrasana A, right foot first, all the way forward. Exhale, both hands back to the floor, step back. Chaturanga. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale, left foot forward, Virabhadrasana. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale over the toes. And if I'm going too fast for any of you, just slow it down. Just take extra breaths, don't worry. 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees. Inhale, hop. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, raise the arms. And Samastitihi. Third one. Inhaling, Utkatasana. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling, long back. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Step the right foot forward. Inhale as you rise up. Exhale, lean forward into the hands as you step back. Open the chest. Exhale. Inhale, left foot forward, all the way up. Exhale, lean forward into the hands. Build the strength in the arms. Open the chest, belly in. And downward facing. Finding your steady gazing point. Scan the body, feeling the alignment. Make some little adjustments. And then try to remain still. 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees, stepper hop, long spine. Exhale, head down. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Take a breath. And inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, smooth movements. Exhaling. Inhaling, smooth breathing. Exhaling. Inhale, coming Virabhadrasana. Exhale, all the way back down. Try not to rush. Inhale. Feel peaceful despite the challenge. Exhale. Inhale, left side. Exhale, lower down. Open the chest, belly stays in. Exhaling, Adho Mukha. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees, step or hop. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling, exhaling. Last one. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, try to find the alignment within the movement. Exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale and exhale, staying here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Place the hands on the hips, fingertips into Uddiyana Bandha, bend the knees, inhale, hop the feet apart, chest open, belly in, exhale, folding over, taking the big toes. Inhale, straighten the back. Exhale, folding over, keeping the back long. So if you need to, you bend the knees. Okay, so you want to keep the neck free. Try not to bounce. Okay, try to stay still. Gaze to the nose or another point. It's about 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, slide the hands under the feet. Inhale again, open the chest, belly in, and maintain that as you fold forward. So the lower belly is trying to reach towards the sacrum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest, straighten the arms. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, pull in the belly as you come all the way up. Exhale, the feet together. Bend the knees, step or hop out to the side. Right foot back, left toes turn in, right foot points out. Trikonasana. Open the arms. And then pull the right hip back, start to slide over that right leg, allowing the right hand to come down as the left arm comes up. Either taking the toe or the hand on the shin or a block, or if you're doing a longer stance like I am, you can put the hand towards the floor. Okay? Choose the version that you feel works for you today. So that's about 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale all the way up, turning on the heels. Exhale into the second side. Gazing to that upper thumb. If it feels strenuous on the neck, you can look to the side or even look down towards the mat. Choose what's best. 2, 3, 4, 5. Press the feet. Inhale as you rise up. Turn on the heels so your hips are facing the end of your mat. Left arm up. Exhale, go straight forward. Place the hand either on the outside of the foot or on a block or on the inside of the foot. Raising the right arm up for Pavrita Trikonasana, Revolve Triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, windmill the arms. Left arm comes up, turning. Right arm is up. Exhale, going straight forward. Placing the hand down. Lifting the opposite hand up. And if possible, gazing to that upper hand. And make sure you don't strain the neck. So if it feels too much, just find a comfortable gazing point for you. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, look down. Inhale, windmill the arms. Arms parallel. Exhale, step or hop to the front. Bend the knees, step or hop out to the side, a little longer stance this time. Pointing the right foot out, left toes in. Bend your right knee so it's directly over the heel. Right arm, palm up, extending over the right side, either doing a variation or bringing the hand on the outside of that foot. Left arm extending over the ear, making a nice straight line from the back heel up to those fingertips. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Press the feet, inhale all the way up. Turning on the heels, left arm, palm up, extending over the left side, coming into the same variation you did on the first side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Press the feet, inhale, come up, turn on the heels, align your hips to the end of your mat. You can lift the back heel off the floor, bend that back knee slightly, bring the hands on the upper buttocks, slide the upper buttocks down towards the floor, hands on the hip bones, pick up the hip bones up towards the ceiling, and then start to rotate the chest towards the front knee. Hook the elbow on the outside of the knee, or maybe the whole arm, and then place the hands either in prayer or the hand on the floor, and see if you can start to push the back heel away, straightening the back leg. Opening the chest to the side, either gazing to the hand or gazing up to the ceiling. It's about 3, 4, 5. Exhale, first look down. Inhale, coming up, windmilling the arms, turning all the way to the other side. So bend that knee, upper buttocks slide down, hip bones slide up, open the chest, lengthen through the spine, and then try to hook either your elbow on the outside of the knee or the whole arm with the hand down, or the hands in prayer position. So choose what works for you. And then at the end, straighten the back knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, come up, windmilling the arms. Exhale, back to the front. Bend the knees, step or hop out to the side. Outer edges of the feet parallel for Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale, chest open, belly in. Exhale, going forward, placing the hands on the floor, shoulder width apart. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, slide the hands back and see if you can place the crown of the head towards the floor. So even if it doesn't touch, try to keep the back nice and long. See if you can feel what your spine looks like from the outside, and notice if you just have a nice long spine. If it feels like you're arching the spine up towards the ceiling, then it's better you don't go down so low, so you can keep the back long. It's about 3, 4, 5. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale here. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhaling in place. Exhaling, folding forward, keeping the fingertips pushing into Uddiyana Bandha. Gaze to the nose. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Strong legs. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, interlace the fingers. Relax your shoulders so the chest is open, but the shoulders are relaxed, belly is in. Inhaling, exhaling, keeping the belly in as you fold forward, and allow the arms to just fall over the head. Find a gazing point. So usually, traditionally it's the nose. That makes you feel uneasy. Just find another gazing point. 2. And you're welcome to bend the knees. Take care of yourself. It's your job. 3, 4, 5. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale in place. Exhale, fold halfway down. Take the big toes with the first 2 fingers and the thumb. Inhale, first long back, straight arms. Exhale, keeping the belly and chest open as you bend the elbows and bring the wrists over the big toes, the elbows towards the wrists. Broadening through the collarbones and broadening across the upper back. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale all the way to standing, and exhale, step or hop. Everybody's okay? Can do thumbs up if I'm going too fast or anything. Okay, so far so good. Open the arms to the sides. Turn the thumbs so they're pointing downwards. Bend at the elbows and place the hands in reverse prayer. Bend the knees, step the right foot back, left toes in, right foot points so your hips are squaring to the end of your mat. You want to feel like your right hip is pulling back, left hip pulling forward, chest open. Exhale, going straight forward and seeing if you can go a little bit towards that leg. But just notice what's happening in the back. Upper buttocks, skin reaching down towards the backs of the knees. 2, 3, 4, 5. Strong legs. Inhale to come up, turning with that inhalation. Prepare, hips forward, and exhale, going straight forward. Feel the lower abdominals like they're reaching all the way up towards the ceiling. So don't let them fall with gravity. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale to come up. Feet come parallel. And exhale, step or hop to the front. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So, if you know this position, just go ahead and do your version. Otherwise, I'll talk it through. You're going to bring your right heel forward. Keep the hips level. and then take your hand on your right thigh. Use your thigh to pull up the thigh. So then the foot is going to follow. And so either you get your toe, or you bend your knee, or you take your toe with the knee bent. Do which one works. Then, if your knee is bent, take the center of the heel, and you're going to arc it forward and up. Reach the ball of the big toe away, and if both legs are straight, then you fold forward. Otherwise, stay standing up straight. That's about 3 for some of you. 4 and 5. You're forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Externally rotate at the hip joint as you open out to the side. And if it's okay with the balance, follow the horizon, look to the side, or find a point on the ground. Use your shoulder blade to use the arm to lift that leg a little bit higher, trying to keep the hips level. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale back to center. Exhale, if you're folding, you fold. Inhale, lift up. And release the toe and try to keep the leg up. Keep the standing leg, upper inner thigh, the standing leg reaching to the back. 4 and 5. Releasing. That one's always hard, okay? Even more than 20 years later, it's still hard. So bring your left heel in front of you. Keep the hips level. Pull in towards the navel. Left hand on the left thigh. Use your hand to lift that thigh. And so lift, 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 lift. If you can get your toe, you get your toe. If not, bend the knee, take the toe. And then see, you could keep the knee straight, bent, or work towards straightening. So listen to your body. It's self-practice. Okay, so if you're folded forward, that's about 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, externally rotating at the hip as you open that leg out to the side. Find a gazing point somewhere onto the side. That's about 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, back to the front. Exhale, if you're folding, you fold. Inhale, lift the chest. And both hands to the hips. See if you can point the toes and then keep the ankles straight, but pull the toes towards you. 3, 4, 5, and release. Good job. It's hard to hold those legs out. They're super heavy. So next one, Ardha Baddha. So you're going to keep both hips forward, turn, externally rotate that right thigh, and then your knees pointing to the side, and then you're going to pick up the foot. Okay, so if you need to do a variation for your knees, I hope you already know those versions. You're going to bring your hands like cradling under your ankle, closing the back of the knee, and then, so this could be a variation. Oops, I'm losing my balance. So just staying straight here, or starting to allow the knee to come towards the floor, reaching behind, taking either your arm or your big toe. If you have your toe, try to pick up the lower abdominals up towards the ceiling. And so this could be a good place to stay. Just work on the balance here. Or exhale, folding all the way forward. Gazing to the nose if you're down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest. Soften the standing knee. Press that foot. Inhale all the way up to stand. And exhale, release the toe, release the foot. Second side. So find a good Samastitihi. Turn the left knee out to the side, but both hips stay forward. Picking up that foot, and then cradling your ankle. Oops. Cradling the ankle underneath, closing the back of the knee, and so you could stay here, or reach behind, holding the toe or the arm, and gently let the knee come down. Okay, so if it doesn't go all the way down, it doesn't matter. Lower abdominals lifting up. And then exhale to fold forward,
Hands somewhere beside that foot and head down. Trying to make the shoulders equal distance from the leg. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest. Bend the standing knee. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, release. Not very graceful. I find it very hard when I see myself there. Okay, so you're in the front of your mat. Turn the palms out. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step or hop, lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Bend at the knees, step or hop, and stay in Utkatasana. Fierce pose, raising the arms, gazing up to the thumbs. Keep the knees touching. Knees are always together, and try to straighten the elbows. So even if you have to open the hands apart, straighten the elbows so you use the triceps. 3, 4, 5. Exhale, fold over, hands down, and directly hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Virabhadrasana. Left heel in, right foot pulls in, coming all the way up, Virabhadrasana A, gazing to the upper hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try to straighten the front knee, stay looking up at those upper thumbs, turning all the way to the opposite side, bending the second knee. See if you can feel if you're in alignment. If not, just take a look down. Check that front knee is pointing to the second toe. That's about 3, 4, 5. Exhale, opening, Virabhadrasana B. So the hips open, chest opens to the side, gazing to the front hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Straighten the knee, turn on the heels, bending the second side. Make sure that knee is pointing to the second toe. Upper buttocks sliding down, hip bones raising up. Low back ribs raising up. And the back of the head lifting up. That's about 3, 4, and 5. Windmill the arms, place the hands. If you're doing the jump, you can try and jump up. Otherwise, just come down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, gaze to the nose. Exhale, downward facing. Bend the knees, gaze forward, and either step or hop through and come all the way to sit. Straighten the knees out, Dandasana. Hands beside the hips, press into the hands so you help lengthen the spine. Make sure the feet are like flat, like they're up against a wall. And then if possible, the chin comes down into this little notch between the collarbones. 1, gaze to the nose. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, go forward, take the toes. Inhale, lift, open the chest, belly stays in as you exhale to fold forward. Keep the back of the neck long. Feel like the sternum is reaching forward. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, take the sides of the feet. Inhale, chest open. exhale, fold. And you're always welcome to bend the knees. I didn't say that, but you should know that that's always a possibility. Don't hurt the back. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, long back. Either doing the same thing again, or if you can hold one wrist and go beyond the feet. And then inhale, pull. You're kind of pulling the feet towards you to help lift the chest. And then exhale, folding forward, keeping the lift in the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, long back. Exhale, release. Sometimes you do a vinyasa there, but we're not going to do that. You're going to lean back. You're going to keep the knees straight, point the ankles, and make sure there's a tiny space between the heels, that the toes touch. Bring the hands out in front of you, belly stays in, and then slide the hands back so the shoulders roll forward a little bit. Push into the hands, push into the heels, and then lifting up. And you only let the head come back if you can lift high enough that you cannot see your feet. Okay, that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, release. Cross at the ankles. Do your version of a vinyasa. So jumping through the arms or bringing the hands forward and jumping back. When you're ready, coming through all the way to jump into a sitting pose. So here, you want to do a half lotus position. So you need to open from the hip joint, close the back of the knee, bring your hands under the ankle, and then bring the heel towards the navel. Place the top of the foot on the thigh. Okay, so you want to keep the kinetic chain, hip, knee, and ankle. So don't let the ankle bend. Bring your right arm behind you. See if you can get your toe or your arm, and then hold the outside of the foot, ankle, or shin. Inhale, chest opens. Exhale to fold forward. 1, 2, 3. So make sure your knees don't hurt. 4, and 5. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, release. If you're doing the double vinyasa, you can go ahead. Otherwise, you're going to just switch sides. So opening the left hip from the hip joint, bringing the foot up. So it's good to lean back. It gives you more space in the hip joint to be able to move. And then all at the same time, you come up and you sit and you place the foot. Left arm behind, thumb down, bend at the elbow, trying to get your toe or the opposite arm. You could bend forward like this, for instance. Okay, so if you have your foot, you open the chest, pulling the side of the foot back. Exhale, fold. 1, do the version you're doing. 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, release, crossing at the ankles, and doing a vinyasa. Try to be present through the entire vinyasa. And jumping through for Trianga Mukha Kapada. So both legs straight, lean towards the left, bend at the right knee so the foot is on the outside of the hip. You want to make sure that this flesh is kind of coming inside and the whole foot, the top of the foot is on the floor. If that's not the case, you take a block or a book or something and sit on this. So both femur bones are parallel, and then exhale, either the hands on the floor or reaching beyond your foot, open the chest, exhale, fold into the position you're going to be holding. You could also keep your left hand beside you and go forward something like this. Okay, just make sure it feels good. It should feel good. It can feel challenging, I'm not saying it's easy, but it shouldn't hurt. That's about 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, release. If you're doing double vinyasa, you go ahead. Otherwise, you're going to just turn so you're on your right leg. Bend that left knee back. Press the back of the calf and let this flesh come to the inside. Okay, so your outer toes are pushing into the floor. Both hips are straight forward. Going forward, taking a bind. Open with the chest. Exhale, folding down. Holding here, gazing to the nose. Make sure you can still breathe nice and freely. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale to release. And going through your vinyasa. Bend at the knees, either stepping or hopping forward. For Janu Shavasana A, left leg out, open the right hip, slide the foot on the upper inner thigh, check both hip bones are square, reaching forward, inhaling and exhaling. 1, find a steady gaze. Tune back in with the breathing. Notice the breath. Is it smooth and even? 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale to release. Either doing your vinyasa or just switching sides. Being aware of what's happening in that bent knee. Sitting bones feel level, belly in as you fold forward. Holding your foot or your ankle or your shin, paying attention to the inside of the body, feeling the body from the inside out. That's about 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, release the arms, crossing at the ankles, lift, jump back, working through your vinyasa. When you're ready, you're jumping through for Janu Shavasana B. Starts the same way as Janu Shavasana A, external rotation of that right hip, bending the knee, and then you're going to bring your foot on the inside of the thigh, but this time you're going to relax that foot, and you want to have the toes pointing towards the other foot. Bring your fingertips on either sides of the hips, lift, tilt forward, and you're trying to sit directly on your heel, so like this, and then the other leg is straight. So your knee is angled, not at a 90 degree, but a little bit in, 80 degrees. Try to rotate both hips forward, going forward, taking your bind, open the chest, exhale, folding. Check the head isn't just dropping at the end of the cervical spine. Use the shoulder blades, so you imagine the skin at the upper back and the neck is pulling away from the ears. That gives a little lift of the sternum, okay? Just a little bit, just enough, instead of letting the head just kind of drop. Okay, I think that's about 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, release. Either doing your vinyasa or second side. Okay, so those who are really experienced at this, it's okay for them to do vinyasa in between, but if it takes you a little longer to get into the pose, then take that time, okay? Don't rush it. So your foot, this foot needs to be relaxed, and then you lift, and you bring the heel into Mula Bandha actually. So this pose is to just remind you, pull up Mula Bandha. And then maybe you come forward, maybe the hands on the sides, open the chest, folding down. Okay, the purpose isn't to get the exact same pose between every single person. The purpose is to calm and steady the mind. So if you're going too far in a pose, the mind will not be calm. It'll be extremely excited. The nervous system will not be calming. Okay, so whatever you're doing, inhale, lift the chest, exhale, release, and cross, lift, jump. Jumping through Jana Shavasana C. Externally rotating at the hip joint. You take your arm under, pull your toes up, take your hand to your heel. The heel is going to come towards the toes, and the toes are going to come towards the groins. Place the foot so that it's not a right angle, it's a little bit off right angle. A right angle is, I find, way too much in the knee. Try to square the hips. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. And see if it can be enjoyable. If it hurts the knees, I think some of you probably already know the modifications. I see some of you already doing them. That's excellent. 3. I'm trying to get rid of this word modification because it sounds like it's less than, and it's not less than. 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, release. And changing sides or vinyasa. So if you're going step by step, you bring your left hand under the calf, you pull the toes back, right hand on the heel comes to the front, and the toes come towards you. And so then the foot is close to the upper thigh. You can lift and make sure the sitting bones are in a nice place. Reaching forward, inhale, chest open, and exhale, fold. Okay, if the knee isn't straight, you don't have to have it straight either. It can be something like that. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, release, cross, lift, and jump back. Vinyasa. Jumping back, working yourself through. Or skip the jump back, as you like. Okay, so coming through Marichyasana A, both legs straight. Take your hands behind your right thigh, pull the thigh up, and if you've got quite strong muscles in the calves, just squish the muscles so it kind of goes on either side. And pull the heel close towards your right sitting bone, left hand behind you. Bring your right fingertips forward, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle forward. Bring your right knee close to the side body and bring that right hand on the outside. So we're going to do this version where you're on these spider hands, and then you push your right arm into your right knee so that you're pushing the shin bone back and allowing the chest to come forward. Okay, so if that comes fairly easily, then you bind. Otherwise, I really highly promote staying in this version. I find it really nice, actually. Okay, that's about 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, releasing out of the pose. Maybe you do a vinyasa, or maybe you just switch sides. Okay, especially it's evening. So squish the back of that calf, pull the foot close to you, make sure there's a handspan between the foot and the thigh. Right hand beside you, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle those left fingertips forward, pull your thigh close to your side body, reach your arm out to the side, come onto these spider hands, and then push the knee back so that you're using your arm to push that back and keep the chest open, okay? It's preparation for Supta Karmasana. If you're binding, you go ahead and bind, and you exhale, fold forward. 1, 2, find a gazing point. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, release, and work yourself through a vinyasa. You can jump directly out of that position. You know that. The transitions can be very entertaining. Otherwise, you're coming back to a sitting pose. For Marichasana B. Okay, so you externally rotate your left leg. You come into a half lotus with the left leg. So you can do under lotus, like this, or you can do over lotus. I like those terms because you always get to do lotus, whichever one you're doing. So if you're hooked to that word, doesn't matter. Okay, so if you're doing over lotus, you slide your right foot close to you, and it starts the same way as Marichasana A. Right fingers comes forward, bring your right hand on the outside, and then pushing that arm into the shin to open the chest. And maybe you bind, maybe you don't, and then tilt forward a little bit. 1, 2, and it should not hurt the knee or the ankle. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, release. And either vinyasa or directly switching sides. So the under lotus would look like this. Foot under here, placing the other foot close to the ball of the big toe. So you're trying to make yourself compact. It's easier to wrap around if you have less space there. If you do something like that, there's too much space to wrap around. Okay, so if you're wrapping, or you can do the spider hands again. Okay, learn to see what feels good. Don't just follow directions without any contemplation. You know, go turn inwards. The yoga is to turn inwards. Feel what's happening and change it depending on the day. One day you're doing Marichasana D, maybe the next day it's not working for you. 3, no judgment. 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest, cross at the ankles, lift and jump back. When you're ready, coming through, jumping or walking. Marichasana C. Bring the right foot close to the right sitting bone. The fingertips behind you. You can hug that knee with the opposite arm. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, twist. If that's coming fairly easily for you and there's no space between you and the thigh, then you can hook your elbow and push your elbow into the knee and the knee into the elbow. If that is still coming fairly easily for you, then you try to slide the arm down this leg and see if you can reach behind and maybe potentially bind behind. Okay, so listen to your body. 2, 3. If you're not binding, I think it's a little better to bend the elbow because you get more leverage to be able to push the elbow into the knee. And that pushing of the elbow in the knee helps you to open the chest. 4 and 5. Okay, so releasing and switching sides or doing your vinyasa. Left foot comes close, turning towards your left leg. And so hugging, this is a really good way to work here. Just holding yourself and then trying to feel in between the sitting bones, the muscles contracting, and then lifting up, almost like they feel the sensation as they're going to come up through the sternum. So you keep the back long as you're twisting. Otherwise, you know the variations. And once again, if you're not binding, a little bit better to bend the elbow so you use some leverage. Find your steady gazing point somewhere to the side. 3, breathing. lift, and jump. Vinyasa. You guys are doing good. It takes a lot of energy to do all that. It's great. 3. You can't hear? George? You can't hear? I don't know what to do if you can't hear. Okay, so Marichasana D. So the left leg, we start with the left leg. It's either coming into under lotus or over lotus. And then slide your right foot up. So it takes, Marichasana D is an extreme external rotation of the hip joint to be able to keep the knee healthy in this position. So don't hesitate to put the foot under. Okay, so then same thing. We can hug the knee, inhale, lengthen through the spine. We can hook the elbow on the outside of the knee, or maybe you're binding. Okay, I'm not binding. I don't want to bind because my sacrum feels a little strange. So it's not going to happen. Make sure the skin of the shoulders feels like it's working away from the neck. So there's no tension in the neck. And if this doesn't feel comfortable, just do any kind of other twist position. You're at home, so we're not as strict as we are when we're in the Mysore room. Okay, I think that's about 5, so you can release. Do your vinyasa or switching sides. So right leg in either over lotus or under lotus. Pulling the left foot up, lengthen the belly, and then hugging that knee, or maybe hooking the elbow, or if you're working on the bind, you go ahead and do the bind. Find a steady gazing point. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale to release, and working through your vinyasa, jumping back, cross at the ankles, lift, going back, chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. So when you jump through, and we go directly into Navasana. So you're on the sitting bones, and your arms are straight, and your legs are straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross at the ankles, swivel the elbows in. Inhale, lift yourself up, and second one. So there's some variations you could do. If that first one feels a little too strong, you can bend one knee, put the toes on the floor. 3, 4, 5. Cross at the ankles. Don't let the feet touch the floor. Try to lift yourself up. And third one. So if you're doing the bent knee, change the other knee to be bent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross, swivel the elbows, push and lift. Fourth one. So you can either go back to the straight legs, or you can bend both knees, or do one of the other versions. Try to show all the versions in the 5 times. 3, 4, 5. Cross at the ankles. Inhale, lift, and last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Cross, lift, and jump back. So from here, when you jump forward, you're going to try to jump so that the feet come around the hands, landing either beside the hands or maybe in front of the hands. So something like, you would land like this. Okay, so your feet are in front, and then bring your hands You can turn your toes out, so your heels are a little bit inwards, toes turned out, and then bring your hands behind the calves, and you can push into your calves and try to bring yourself a little bit further through the legs. Put the hands on the floor, and if it needs to happen, you can even put your hands under the heels. Okay, so see what's happening, and then swivel the elbows, and then you have to sit down on your upper arms. Okay, so you're sitting down on your upper arms, and then you squeeze one leg onto the arm, other leg onto the arm, so that you're able to balance here. When you can balance there, then you cross at the ankles. Good job, I see lots of you doing that. And so when you cross at the ankles, then you point the toes, and then you try to control the descent, and you bring the top of the head down towards the floor. Okay? And if your head's on the floor, you're staying there. 5 breaths. And then push into the hands, push into the head, lower the buttocks, lift the head, and go through your vinyasa. So you can either bring the legs back into Bakasana, jump from there, or just release and jump. Whatever you need to do. You're practicing at home. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to jump through, lie on the back. So you're lying down on the back, bending at the knees, soles of the feet on the floor. I'm going to talk through a back bend. So the soles of the feet are on the floor, the knees and the ankles are in line with one another. The feet are only about hip width apart. Okay, so make sure the toes are not turning out, the feet are parallel. And then interlace your fingers, lift the head, and have a look at the pubic bone versus the hip bones. You want the pubic bone and the hip bones to be the same level. Okay, so when this happens, then you'll have a natural curve in the spine. Okay, so that you firm in the lower belly, pull in Mula Bandha, and you don't change the bone, so you're not pushing the back into the floor. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. It's hard just through a camera like that. And then bring your elbows into the floor, fingertips pointing up, push into your feet, push into your elbows, keeping the bandhas as you lift the hips up. So you can stay like this, or maybe you can bring the hands under the hips. You can stay like this. That feels pretty good still. Then you stretch your arms over the head, reach the baby side of the fingers way away from you, and then bend at the elbows, push into the hands, and you come to the crown of the head. So you want to feel like your knees come towards the end of your mat, push into the crown, but push into the hands, come to the crown, and you need to be able to stay in this position. Okay, so everybody's going to use that position if possible. If you don't, because that one's a nice position. Make sure you're not crushing the back of the neck. So you reach the chest away. And then look up towards the ceiling and come down. Some of you have your feet too close together. Like Leticia, you can separate your feet. Okay, so I'm going to talk it through again, but be careful because honestly it's not super comfortable for me to teach this kind of thing when I can't come and adjust you. So separate the feet hip width apart. Check pubic bone and hip bones are the same level. Bring your elbows beside you. Push into the elbows. Lift the hips up. Okay, then if you feel comfortable, bring the hands behind you. Reach the baby side of the fingers away. Okay, so your shoulder will be in the right place. Then bend at the elbows. Place your hands somewhere beside the forehead or the ears. Bring your knees forward to the front of your mats and then push into the hands and lift up. Okay, and then if you feel comfortable there, straighten the arms. Okay, if it pinches in the shoulder, you don't do that. If you lose all control of the alignment, then don't go all the way up. You guys look really good, so I guess you've all been practicing with good teachers, because nobody looks like they're doing wild, crazy things there. And when you're ready, you can come down. If you want to do one last one, you can go ahead. Otherwise, coming into Paschimottanasana, sitting forward bend. So do your version of sitting forward bend. I'm going to show you one that feels really nice after back bending, is to have the knees bent and then bring your chest and your thighs close together. Bring the hands under the Achilles tendon, and you're kind of pulling the skin up this direction. And then from there, you push the centers of the heels away, and you keep this connection. And then I know when I used to do really deep back bends, this is what I used to do, is I would sit like that, because when you went into a very deep back bend, it takes some time for the back bend to go in the other direction. And I would just stay like that for a few breaths, because you're supposed to stay here about 10 breaths. So staying there for a little bit, and then slowly, slowly, as the back felt more comfortable, starting to straighten the legs. So do what feels right, really deep listening of the body. So I think that's probably about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Inhale, lift the chest, and do your vinyasa. Cross, lift, and jump back. Chaturanga, upward facing, downward facing, and jumping through and coming once again to lie down on the back. So I'm going to go through the shoulder stand. It's another pose that I'm like kind of getting used to teaching through Zoom. It's not really, so don't hurt your neck, whatever you do, don't hurt your neck. So when you come into this pose, you want to start with a curve in the neck. Okay, so you need to make sure you keep a curve. Bring the shoulders a little bit closer to the ears. Put the elbows into the floor. You can bend your knees up towards you. Push into your elbows. Push into the back of the head. Use the belly. And then kind of put the buttocks into the hands. Something like that. So if you haven't been doing this, then I would suggest you just stay something like that. Okay, because you're not going to hurt your neck. You have lots of freedom in the neck. If you know the pose, then you're trying to walk the hands down the back. Okay, but you always want to feel like the neck is slightly off the floor. And reach the toes up towards the ceiling. Holding here, gaze towards the navel. And once again, if it hurts the neck, you come down. And by the way, if you have your period, you're not doing this. Just put the legs up the wall. And then Halasana, bringing the feet over the head, interlacing the fingers. Staying there. You can always bend your knees. If it feels too strenuous, put the knees on the forehead. Oh, I see a cat passing. That's very cute. Karnapidasana, bend the knees, bring the knees to the ears, squeezing the ears with the knees. If it starts to feel uncomfortable, don't hesitate to come out. And after Karnapidasana, you straighten the legs back up. And then you externally rotate the two hips, and you're going to bring the legs either into a full lotus, or a half lotus, or just a cross-legged position. So any of those. If you're in lotus, then you can bring your hands on your knees, push into the knees, and then push the knees into the hands and try to balance there. I can see some of you. If it feels like too much, you can just rest in child's pose or close your eyes and do a nice meditation. And then, if possible, bring your knees towards your chest and wrap your arms around the legs and stay in this little ball. And then slowly keep the legs in the position you're in. Slowly roll out so the legs are down. And then you're going to lift your chest and bring your back of the head onto the floor for a Matsyasana pose. So a fish position. You can hold your feet. Feel like your spine is reaching through the chest, like it's going to reach up towards the ceiling. So the muscles of the spine are engaging. Gaze to the nose. And then from there, keep the chest and the head as it is and try to unravel the legs and bring the legs at an angle and straight. Bring your arms at the same angle as the legs. And try to hold it there. And once again, you're pushing the head a little bit into the floor to use it as resistance to lift the chest away from the floor. And then between the hip bones, these muscles are strong. They're pulling in. And bring the legs down. Elbows into the floor. Tuck the chin. And you can just roll to one side. Come up to a sitting position. If you guys know the Chakrasana, you go ahead, but I'm not going to teach that. And then do a vinyasa. So lift, jump, chaturanga. Stay on the knees, jump through, and stay on the knees. You're going to do the headstand. So interlace the fingers. If you know the headstand, just go ahead. But I'm going to talk it through step by step for those who are maybe not as confident with it. So you interlace the fingers and you bring the two baby fingers under and you make this triangle with the forearms. You place that triangle on the floor and then notice that if I move my elbows, my skin moves side to side. So I want to be on the wider part and have my elbows and my shoulders aligned. Then I just tuck my toes under, press into my toes, and lift my knees just a tiny bit from the floor. Okay, so this is really step 0. Okay, so holding like this, push the forearms into the floor, reach the chest away, and feel the shoulder blades coming onto the back. And then if that feels okay, you start to straighten the knees, but you're lifting from the lower abdominals. Start to walk the toes towards you. Check the back of the neck is long and the palate is released. So you can hold here. This will strengthen you a lot. Feel the shoulder blades pulling onto the back. Otherwise, you walk a little bit forward and then the head comes onto the floor naturally. From there, you push into the elbows and the forearms and see if you can get your toes from the floor. So you could hold something like that, or you can keep pushing and lift all the way up. Okay, so do one of those versions. I can talk it through again if you lost it. I wouldn't hold the elbows, because it's, anyway. So don't put the head down until you know that the forearms are strong. Okay, this is one of the tricks how to be able to do a headstand safely without a wall. Okay, if you go step by step. So the first thing is, so I'll re-talk it. So those of you who are already in it, stay there, but I'll re-talk it. So you interlace the fingers, the baby fingers come in, you make this triangle with the forearms. You put your triangle on the floor. Okay, so don't do this. Okay, I don't have time to explain it, but just don't do it. And then toes tucked under, and then push your forearms firmly into the floor. So you feel the chest reaching away from the floor. And then the shoulder blades will get anchored onto the upper back. And then just pick up the knees and verify forearms pushing into the floor. And then if you can maintain that, you're lifting from the lower abdominals. So the lower abdominals are lifting you up towards the ceiling. So you're lifting slowly, slowly, slowly. And then from there, relax the neck, relax the palate, and then start to tippy toe forward. And then from there, it just starts to feel light, right? Your feet feel light, and then you're able to lift all the way back up. Okay, so let's see. It can happen. It's just the strength in the arms. Let me see. And you could do the bent knee version. I was just trying to change it today, have something different. Okay, if you're finished, you had enough of headstand, just come into a child's pose. But I saw you guys trying. It looks great. Very nice. Yes, George is excellent. Okay, resting in child's pose. Taking some deep breaths. So you can stay down like this. Letting the muscles melt down towards the floor. And notice the heartbeat. Let the heartbeat come more natural. And then lift the head, slide the hands forward, step the feet back, and come into a chaturanga. And an upward dog, and a downward dog, and then step or hop and come into a sitting position. So find a comfortable cross-legged position. If you're doing lotus, then start with both legs externally rotated and place the legs in lotus. You might be holding behind. If that doesn't happen, you can hold the elbows and place the forehead on the floor. If the forehead doesn't come to the floor, take a blanket or a bolster or something. And if you don't have anything like that, you could also be like that. But I advise not to just kind of hang something like this. I don't know, it's not so great for the neck. Okay, and then coming back up, and then you're keeping your chin in, and bring the hands, slide the hands behind you, lift the chest, let the head come back. If it feels too strong on the neck, just keep looking forward, breathing deeply. Trying to make the inhales and the exhales the same length, the same sound. And then coming back up, bring the hands on the knees, chin in. Let the legs feel heavy, let the hips feel relaxed. Lift the head, place the hands in front of the hips, pick up the knees, press into the hands, and lift the sitting bones.
Okay, so if you're not in a lotus, if let's say you're in a half lotus, you could do something like this. Try to smile and enjoy the last effort. If you're not in even half lotus, then you can flex your feet and be something like that. After 5 or 10 breaths, you can jump back from here or just go directly into a Shavasana. So I suggest you take a blanket or something, a sweater, get yourself warm. Come to lie down. I'll talk you through a Shavasana. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through a Shavasana, and you can even stay longer. So if you don't want to come out of Shavasana, just stay there, even when I'm asking you to come out. And I'll just shut off the meeting, and you can have a super long Shavasana if you want. Okay, so you can shake releasing any last tensions. You can breathe out. Do basically anything that is feeling comfortable for you to just let go any last remaining tensions that may be lingering. And then giving a little scan to the body. Find some tension, try to breathe into that place. And feel like you're melting the skin, melting the muscles, melting completely all the soft tissues of the body. Feel like you're completely letting go. Allowing the floor to completely support you. The floor is like the earth. The earth is there to support us. Allowing the breath to become quieter and quieter. It's almost like there's no more breathing. Shavasana, it means corpse pose. So it's our daily reminder to learn to let go. Let go completely of the body. And then come to the soul, the Purusha, the true self. And try to abide in the true self. as I said, you're welcome to stay where you are. To take a longer time for relaxation. I'm going to chant the closing mantra. The closing mantra, the general meaning of this mantra is to send out all the benefits of our practice to all beings everywhere. So at the beginning of our practice, we express gratitude. At the end of our practice, we express giving, sharing, love to all beings everywhere. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisha go brahmanebhya Shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om shanti shanti shanti. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for being there